From Wall Street to Main Street, this is Lalate.
It's a big night about your $1,400 third stimulus check. As more checks landed in mailboxes today, and could your mail check land tomorrow? And what about that new wave of stimulus checks coming next week by direct deposit? If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security Railroad benefits, if you're a veteran, if you're on RB or a Direct Express by Comerica card holder, I have all the details for you as well. Meantime, you're going to see new video for the very first time on this channel about the press secretary answering questions about forced stimulus. Major developments about forced stimulus unfolded today. New details about student loan debt forgiveness that just happened. Also, incredible great news about reoccurring stimulus checks. And questions about the corporate tax rate and what's going to be happening about that as well. And while we wait for that wave forward to hit of stimulus checks, there's also great news about $10,200 of unemployment that's tax-free and a rebate check. I'll have all those details as well. In a day in which there was a lot of economic news, I'll be going over the big economic news that hit that impacts your stimulus. Unemployment numbers out, new numbers out about growth, and new numbers across the board that could impact where and when stimulus is landing. From the West Coast to the East Coast, from my home to your home, from Main Street to Home Street, and across the land, all the big details are hitting, and they're hitting right now, as we go into a big night of evenings Lalate. What a big night it is as millions of Americans await that $1,400 third stimulus check to land. And guess what? More landed today, and more could be landing tomorrow. So what's going on? I have all the details for you in a mega, oversized, wonderful evenings Lalate. How are you? It's a big night. Having a good day? Ready to crush the weekend? The heat wave is crushing Los Angeles. Ooh, boy, it is hot. Hot, hot, hot. So if you have not hit that subscribe button, hit it right now. Hit it like it's hot. It is a big day. And guess what? It's birthday month on this channel. This channel turns 1 year old on April 25th. So give it a subscribe for its birthday. Let's try to get to 400,000 subscribers by the end of this month. Also, like this video. It really helps in the algorithm rankings. Let's try to do 3,000 likes. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member because, wow, that forced stimulus bill is about to hit. There's so much breaking news late today. Let me get over to that news right now. First, the President of the United States will consider a $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness by executive order. He's analyzing the situation. More about that coming up. Number two, there is incredible new progress for the opportunity for reoccurring stimulus checks from the Senate. Why? Because the Republicans say, go by reconciliation. We're not going to help you. This is for stimulus. Number three, tax refund checks of $10,200 up to for unemployment are coming out in May. I have all those details as more. And the great news, of course, are stimulus checks. More landed today. Let's cut to right with those right now. $1,400 third stimulus checks have been landing in a wave. A wave is a weekly cycle. It starts on a Friday and it ends the following Friday. Each week is a wave. We're currently in wave 3 for the deposit, but the wave 2 checks are still late in the mail. This is the great news. Every single day you should be doing the following 3 tasks. 1, checking the mail. 2, checking the irs.gov tool to see if there's any updates for you. And 3, checking your direct deposit. This is what you need to know about direct deposit accounts. The following banks only post deposits on Wednesdays. Those are Direct Express by Comerica, big banks like Bank of America or Chase, and similar banks like that, and credit unions. The following banks, however, post deposits when they receive them the minute they get them. And those that are post deposits do that on Fridays, Saturdays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. So they post it ahead of the Wednesday date. If they get it on a Friday, they post it on a Friday. They don't hold it to the following Wednesday. Which banks are they? They are Chime, Cash App, they are Chime, Cash App, Bank Corp, NetSpend, MetaBank, Green Emerald Card by H&R Block, and TurboTax. All right, so what's going on today, and where is your check? If you're on SSI and SSDI, this includes you. If it's Direct Express by Comerica, this includes you. And if you're a big bank customer or someone not on benefits that files tax returns, this is you. Hundreds of thousands of viewers of this channel still do not have their stimulus check, and it involves all walks of life. Not one group of person and not one bank is being paid on only one day. They're just coming on different days across the board. This is how it's happening. We are currently in the middle of the third wave. Why is there subsequent waves? Because that's the way they do it. The first wave went out on March 17th. The second wave was March 24th. Now, these are Wednesdays. These are direct deposit days. The mail checks are a day or two later. Hundreds of thousands of viewers of this channel have a March 26th mail check result date. Those mail checks are late. When are they landing? They've been landing all week long, and they'll land tomorrow as well. They landed today, April 1st. They landed yesterday. Now they're almost 7 days late, but they're coming. They're not missing. They're not inaccurate. They're actually coming. And then this week, yesterday, viewers got stimulus checks landing in their bank accounts as well. Those were Direct Express by Comerica, U.S. Bank, Bank of America, Chase, and also all the other banks. They posted deposits yesterday. Now, what's important to understand is that we're heading into the weekend, and Friday means the starting of another wave. Another wave starts every Friday. They send out the payments by direct deposits and also by debit card every Friday, so that on Saturday, the IRS tool updates itself to show who just got a deposit the night before. If you're at the smaller banks, which I just detailed, they post the counts on a Saturday, or a Monday or Tuesday. The big banks, including Direct Express by Comerica or Chase, they post the funds on the Wednesday if they came by direct deposit. And then they go to mail Thursday and Friday. Now, what's important to understand is that you may actually be a mail recipient. Yes, you may actually be a mail recipient. Now, I'll be covering in a second how you can figure out what day your check is coming. And if you have a certain bank, more indication of what day that deposit could land. But today, the President of the United States press secretary had to answer a lot of questions. And among the questions were, what happened with that fourth stimulus package debut yesterday? Now, let me explain where we are before you see this video. This video was earlier in the day. Since this video, the following has now happened going into this evening. Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy has come out and said, Republicans will 100% not support the fourth stimulus package, debuted yesterday. This, for you folks, is great news. Why? Because the single most important force to get you reoccurring stimulus checks is the Senate Democrats. And now this forces the president to do the fourth stimulus package bill by reconciliation. And when it goes by reconciliation, the Senate Democrats have already said, we are going to modify it by amendment when it lands in the Senate, like we did with the third stimulus, and put monthly stimulus checks in there. This is huge. This will be $10,000, $12,000, $16,000 potentially for all viewers of this channel. And this is what you've wanted to hear. Now, I'm going to show you the video that happened during the press briefing earlier today before Mitch McConnell made that statement. Let's listen in to what the press secretary had in answering that question.
To a rate that was the
about Hong Kong. As you're aware,
between the ARP. The ARP, the American Rescue Plan, was an emergency package. We needed to get it done as quickly as possible to get the pandemic under control, get relief direct checks out to Americans. We've got a little bit more time here to work and have discussions with members of both parties. We want to see progress by Memorial Day. We'd like to see this package passed by the summer, but I certainly expect when Congress returns that the president will be inviting members to the Oval Office.
And when you consider that timeline, certainly there are Democrats, especially the most progressive Democrats, who would like to see the ability to get this done quickly in order to touch on some of the other priorities that are in different topic areas. Is there a real sense, though, that you can work with Republicans when the leader says there will be no support, when the House Republican leader, Kevin McCarthy, says we love infrastructure, but we don't like this tax idea? Is there any room left?
I think that's a question for them. They support investment in infrastructure, right? They believe we need to do more to compete with China. Maybe they don't believe we should pay for it. If so, they should say that. Maybe they have different alternative ideas. There have been some proposals out there about user fees or gas taxes, essentially. We don't agree with that. We don't believe that the cost should be on the backs of the American people. We believe that corporations should be able to bear the brunt for investing in America's workers. But they can come forward with their ideas. We believe we can start from a place where we agree.
And given that the COVID economy has been hard on so many businesses, is this the time to try to increase taxes when they are not really out of the COVID slide of the economic impact of the pandemic?
Well, what we're talking about here, that's exactly why we shouldn't be increasing taxes on the American people, on people making less than $400,000 a year, why we shouldn't be putting in place user fees, because people are still trying to get through this period of time. Corporations who have had their tax rate lowered to 21%, lower by a great margin than it's been ever in history, corporations that didn't pay any taxes in 2018, we think they can afford to help rebuild our workforce, help invest in industries of the future, and make sure our infrastructure makes us competitive with China.
Let me explain what's going on during this exchange, and you'll hear more of it later in this video. The president's proposal is to raise taxes to pay for infrastructure. And among his proposals is to raise the corporate tax from 21 to 28% that was previously in the 35% range during the Obama administration. Here is what the rub is, and at least the questioning of the reporter to the press secretary, is that in the middle of the pandemic, job creation is not occurring. You're going to see throughout the next few days the question of where are the jobs coming from. The job creation numbers currently are about 250,000 per month, and we're 16 months away to having have the number of jobs put back into the economy they're missing. 8.5 million jobs are missing that will require 16 months. But the question is basically asking is, why are you taxing the employers who need to create new jobs at a time in which we need to create those actual jobs? That's the first question. The second question is, will you get any Republicans on support for the bill? Her pause was, well, how do you want to pay for it? This is what's really quite interesting, and this is what's the takeaway that you should see. Ultimately, my hope is that if the White House wants to move forward with reconciliation, do it right now. Don't wait 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of talking to Republicans and talking about a tax hike. If you're going to do a tax hike, just do it and go forward with it now, and then do it by reconciliation so you get the bill done and you get the stimulus checks out the door. If you don't do that, then this could drag on for months and months, and the bill would never get jump-started. Ultimately, reconciliation is the process. Ultimately, do it now, get the bill to the finish line, get those multiple stimulus checks out the door. Don't hold it up by talking to Republicans who simply don't support raising any taxes. I'll have more about that video in a second, but let me cut back to that $1,400 third stimulus check. What's important when you're hearing about fourth stimulus versus third stimulus check, it's the same income qualification. Everyone's getting a stimulus check for third who makes less than $75,000. It's coming to you, the third stimulus check. But who is not getting a stimulus check this time around? If you have a representative payee, you're not getting a stimulus check this month. If you are dependent on someone else's tax return, you're not getting it. It's going to them for you. And if you're a member of a household, it can't be more than 4 people because that's the threshold of the household. But other than that, you're getting the stimulus check. So the question is when and where. Stimulus checks, third stimulus checks, are landing in 2 instruments, paper checks and mail checks. And this is not unusual. In December last year, news reporters noticed that suddenly people who had set up direct deposits for a first stimulus check were getting them in the mail. And they asked Treasury, why are they showing up in the mail? And Treasury said, we just decided to send some out in the mail instead of direct deposit. But they said they had direct deposit set up. Why did you send them in the mail? They said, we just do. Is there any order to who they're sending them out? No. So this is occurring again. There is no organization, there is no structure, there is no plan, and there's no operation as to who will get a check in the mail and who will get in direct deposit. The most important message is to watch that mail account and watch that direct deposit account every day. Also, watch to ensure that the IRS tool doesn't update itself. But in this video, I'm going to show you how you can know what day a direct deposit will land in your bank account, if it does, and what day a mail check will show up. I'll also be answering the questions that you've posed throughout the day about that March 26th mail check day, that April 2nd to April 5th mail check day, and your questions about Comerica Express card. When and where is it landing? And are SSI and SSDI only held up for April 7th, or are they coming earlier than April 7th? Of all those details and more, additionally with new video from the White House coming up after this commercial break. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join Lalate Daily for the excitement of the new Lalate live daily. The excitement starts on mornings Lalate at 9 a.m. Home Lalate returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons Lalate at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on Lalate. And the excitement continues later tonight on Hazard Pay at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I hope you join me for that live chat fest. And guess what? I'm in the live chat right now, so say hello. How are you? How you doing? Say hi. I'm in the live chat, so say hi back. It's a big night. I have a lot of breaking details still happening, a lot of videos from the White House and Elizabeth Warren coming up, so make sure you stay with me. Also subscribe. It's birthday month, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's try to add another couple thousand so we get to 400,000. Also like this video, 2,000-3,000 likes. And if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. The other breaking news that really happened today was the shocker about student loan debt forgiveness. The student loan debt forgiveness has been pushed by Elizabeth Warren and Leader Schumer since last December. They have wanted the president to do executive order. Earlier today, you saw me deliver a video in which they released yesterday again, urging the president to do it by executive order. And just days earlier, Elizabeth Warren released this video in which she urged Americans to forget student loan debt forgiveness. She wanted the president to do it. Well, all that pushing worked because today, finally, the president made the announcement. He said that he has now anointed his education secretary to look at the legal validity of forgiving student loan debt. He says that determination will be made in the next 2 weeks. And if it is legally viable, he will forgive $50,000 of student loan debt. Under the third stimulus package, the forgiveness of student loan debt is no longer taxable. So normally you would have to pay $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 on even a forgiven student loan debt. You don't have to because it was taken care of in the third stimulus package. This is what Elizabeth Warren said about this situation just days ago.
Secretary of Education to cancel out this student loan debt. And President Obama used it to cancel some student loan debt. President Trump used it to cancel some student loan debt. I want to see President Biden use it. If he would cancel $50,000 in student loan debt, it would make an enormous difference in the lives of tens of millions of Americans and help build our entire nation a stronger future going forward. So, as you know, I'm all in on this one. And if we could persuade the president, we could do this one fast.
And that persuasion has not been fast, but finally, after release another video today, actually yesterday, the president stepped forward and said he will do it. That $50,000 of student loan debt forgiveness is a biggie. But also a biggie is the $10,000 of $10,200 of unemployment that the IRS said today they will send it by tax refund. More about that in a second. But here is a new video from the President of the United States talking today about his cabinet appointees and the economy.
I laid out my vision for rebuilding America and America with the America's Jobs program. And while most of the cabinet will have a role in helping shape and press the jobs plan, today I'm announcing that I'm asking 5 cabinet members to take special responsibility to explain the plan to the American public. Working with my team here in the White House, these cabinet members will represent me in dealing with Congress, engage the public in selling the plan, and help work out the details as we refine it and move forward.
Also, the Vice President spoke today about job creation when she made an appearance today as well. Let's listen in.
Knowing that they are not alone. This is what you all have been doing over the course of this last year. And you, of course, are leaders that are leaders in your communities. You are the people that folks on the ground know and rely on and have a history with. And when people are then making a decision to get vaccinated, they're going to look to you. They're going to look to you to help answer the questions that they may have. That may include what's in the vaccine. It may also include how do I sign up? How do I get there? The transportation piece. And
also throughout the day, the president answered a lot of questions about stimulus. But one of the big questions the viewers this channel have asked is, where is my stimulus check? And how do I determine what day it's coming? Let me explain where we are. We're currently stuck between Wave 2 to Wave 4. Why? Wave 2 landed by direct deposit on March 24th, and Wave 3 landed by direct deposit on March 31st. Who paid on those particular days? Everyone did. Every bank has paid in a particular wave since Wave 2. So there's no particular bank that's waiting for their wave specifically. During Wave 2 and Wave 3, these have been the banks. Citizens Bank, PNG, Bancorp, Chime, PayPal, NetSpend, Green Dot, People United Bank, US Bank, PNC, Capital One Bank. Also, Michigan Bank, Union Bank, NetSpend, Amex, Bluebird, Navy Federal, BTB, Wood Forest, USAA, Bank America, Chase, Wells Fargo, H&R Block, Green Emerald Card, and also the wonderful TurboTax. Meantime, Wave 3 included PNC, Wells, Arvest, US Bank, Chase, Direct Express Card, Green Dot, Citizens Bank, Bank America, H&R Block, Regions Bank, TD. Also NetSpend, MetaBank, Chase, Wells Fargo, and Bank America. Now, the mail checks, however, have been a little bit confusing because they have been insanely delayed. The Wave 2 mail checks have an effective date of March 26. Well, where are they? They landed still today. On April 1st, some of the March 26 checks still landed. So the great news is that March 26 checks are just very, very late. Give it time, they're still landing. I don't want you to lose hope, they're just late. But how about those Wave 3 mail checks? They're landing April 2nd to April 5th. We're not there yet, so they're clearly not arriving early. I've not heard any viewer report their April 2nd to April 5th checks have arrived early. They'll likely arrive on time or could be up to 7 days late like Wave 2 checks. Now, here's what's important to understand as you go into next week, is that some viewers believe for Wave 4 it is only direct deposit. That's not true. Wave 4 will be mail checks and direct deposit checks. And that is if you are on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits. This is if you are a Direct Express by Comerica card holder. Some checks will go by direct deposit and some will never come at all that way. They'll go in the mail. Wave 5 is predominantly a veterans fix-it wave, but guess what? Veterans have been getting stimulus checks on this channel since Wave 1. So veterans checks could be in the mail as well. The net takeaway is very simple. Stimulus checks from big banks and Direct Express by Comerica only go into accounts on Wednesdays. So here are the Wednesdays they appeared, and here are the Wednesdays coming up. These are the big banks and Direct Express by Comerica. If you're going to get a deposit, it's going to be on a Wednesday to these banks. If you're not going to get a deposit on a Wednesday, if you are a smaller bank, then the deposits appear 2 to 3 days earlier, Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. Now, if you're not getting a deposit, you're getting a mail check. But which mail check are you? Remember, a wave starts on a Friday and the mail checks go out the next Thursday and Friday, or land the next Thursday and Friday. So which mail check are you? Are you the mail check for the 4th or 5th? Or are you the mail check for the 2nd or 3rd if the IRS tool has no results for you? And if the IRS tool has no results for you, could it now show results this weekend? I have all those details and more coming up in a second. But let's listen into what the press secretary had to say when asked about corporate tax rate being raised by this president for forced stimulus, before Mitch McConnell said, we're not going to support this at all. Let's listen in today.
Through the vast majority of time over the last 70 years. And we think that's an incredibly reasonable proposal. I will say that in the wake of the 2017 tax giveaway to corporate America, I should say, 91 of the Fortune 500 companies paid no federal taxes. Zero federal taxes. That is not something that the American people believe is fair, that we believe is fair. And what we're talking about here is making adjustments to the tax code to make it more fair, to invest in our infrastructure, invest in American workers, so that we can be more competitive over the long term.
Let me explain what is wrong with that messaging. And the press secretary, out of due respect to her, has consistently been inaccurate about talking on this subject. And it seems as though it's almost a regular basis with her. When you talk about the tax code, she's only talking about Fortune 500 companies in these press conferences. But guess what? Last year when this channel launched, about a year ago today, I had viewers who have small husband and wife businesses. It's just the husband and wife. There's no employees. But for purposes of how they have their business set up, they have it set up as a corporation or an LLC. Guess what? When they go to pay their taxes, they're taxed at the tax code rate. And so when she's talking about corporations, she's only talking about Fortune 500. The truth of the matter is that if the president raises the corporate tax rate from 21 to 28%, she hurts that husband and wife that have a corporation that they run themselves as just a husband and wife. Because they chose a corporate structure, she's hurting them by raising their tax rate 7%. But so what's also important is what she's talking about in that video where she says they don't pay any taxes. She's referring to another situation, which is the tax loopholes, where a lot of the corporations, Fortune 500 corporations, are international, and they put operations overseas so they don't have to pay any taxes domestically. That's not the situation of the husband and wife that has a small business. They're just going to get hit with a higher tax rate. They're paying taxes. Now they have to pay more. And so as we look at the issue of job creation, the question is whether this is the right time to increase that type of tax rate. Earlier today, the unemployment numbers came out. And if there was ever a time for these numbers to come out, it was today. And the unemployment numbers, at the same time that the press secretary was talking about raising corporate tax, were not good. The unemployment numbers came in at 719 this morning. The Dow had expected it to rise to 675, so it blew out estimates to the high end. The previous week was 658, so it grew a lot from 658 to 719. If you've been with this channel for a while, this unemployment number is now still high. The long-term unemployment number is still 3.8 million, improved just a little bit, 46,000. So the number's not good. Virginia saw an increase of 30,000 new jobless claims. Kentucky, 15,000. Georgia, 12,000. California, 10,000. The 10-year Treasury note remains at 1.7%. And the important message is that people are out of work. The job number is not improving. The job creation number is not good. So why is the push to fix a freeway at the moment at issue where it may not create job, may hurt the employer that's actually offering the job? Here's what you need to know going into tomorrow. As we go into Friday, more stimulus checks will be landing in the mail. I don't want you to miss those stimulus checks. And those stimulus checks are before wave 7 and wave 4 and 5 kick in. But what's also happening on Friday is a new wave of stimulus checks go out. This is for both mail and direct deposit. And those those checks for Friday will start to reflect in the tool on Saturday. Here's an important takeaway. If you go to the IRS tool and it shows no results for you, don't worry, because two things could be happening. One, the tool doesn't work and it'll never show anything for you. The check will just show up, whether it's in the deposit account or in the mailbox. Or two, the reason why it doesn't show anything is because the money hasn't been sent out. And when it's sent out on Friday, it will update in the tool. As I've always said, Saturday is one of the biggest days of this channel for purposes of tracking a stimulus check. So stay with me for this weekend, because I got to tell you, I just fully believe that Saturday may be a very exciting day for viewers of this channel. I expect viewers to hopefully see new updates on that IRS tool that shows a pending check for next week under Wave 4. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I don't want you to miss a single video across the board. Thank you for joining me on a big day. If you missed any of the videos earlier today, go back and watch them. It really helps. Also, like this video. 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 likes. Remember, I'm in the chat, so say hi. And if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Thank you for joining me on a big night of Evenings Lalate. From the West Coast to the East Coast. From my home to your home. Across the land, there's so much happening, and I don't want you to miss anything when it happens. Always stay here across the board, because I'm ensuring that you don't miss a single recording. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay of LA for more.